Okay, in this example is going to be an FHA, financing, and buyer's cost, where we're going to pass the closing costs to the seller, including some of the discount points, or we'll look at that as an option, and then go into the seller's net and show how that number shows up on the seller's net. Okay, we're going to assume in this case that there is enough equity. So we're going to do the financing, FHA, and the sales price is going to be $350. The interest rate is 5.25, amortized 30 years. So here's your down payment at 3.5%, plus your MIP. So your payment every month is $1897.71. Enter is your property insurance, property tax, and your 0.55 on the monthly mortgage insurance, giving us a total payment of $2522.09. From here we go right to the buyer's cost. We're going to charge 1 point origination, say $400 for appraisal, and $1,400 for loan fees or process and docs. There's your 30 days of interest. We've got all of our prepaids here. I'm going to go $125 for sub-escrow, $150 for notary, $45 for flood cert, and $300 for inspection, $200 for miscellaneous. So of these costs, we have $13,171.10 that we're going to have the seller pay. We have the seller pay all of the closing costs. So all we do is click on all, and we've passed that amount to the seller. Something very interesting about FHA is that they allow the seller to pay up to 6%. $13,171 is not quite 6%. So we could go to amount, put in 6, and that's $21,000. So if we were going to actually get the seller to pay the full 6%, we could take the outstanding amount of $7,828 and apply that to discount points and buy down that interest rate. So that's another way to use this program and make the most of the seller's assistance. So if the seller is willing to assist with the full 6%, we could apply $7,828 to the discount points. $7,828.90. If we do that, we have the discount points of 2.278, which is buying the interest rate down quite a bit. If the seller doesn't agree to that, the full 6% and $21,000 might be a lot. In this case, however, it would make the property very attractive to a buyer. We could go back, take out the discount points, have them only pay all of the closing costs, and not actually have to come up with the full 6%. So depending on how you're going to write the deal up, that's one option. Go for the whole 6%, add the excess to the discount points, and buy that interest rate down. What a great deal for the buyer. You're going to go with full price on the property, and that's one of the first properties that will be shown and sold. In our case, we're going to go just with the seller agreeing to pay all of the closing costs. So that would be the $13,171. We're going to print that in English. From other examples, you could see where you can put in the client's information. Take a look at what this looks like here. And then we're going to go right from here into the seller's costs. Going to want to save this as a PDF. Go in here, save as a PDF. This is going to be financing and buyers with seller paying all. I'm going to save it. Okay, so that's going to be saved as a PDF, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Yes, of course that PDF is going to pop up in our face in a moment. We're going to go to the seller's net sheet. Say the sales price is the same, $350. Keep the sales price so that the information will come across. So the first trustee, let's say they owe $300. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, we're going to say they owe $300 at 6%. There's your listing fee and your selling fee, reconveyance and demand. So all of your costs are already set up in here. But the important thing, say $350 for home warranty and $50 for a pest inspection, but the important thing is that here's that $13,171 came across to the seller's net. We did the financing, we did the buyer's cost, printed that, and then went to the seller's net. As long as we keep that same sales price, the seller's assistance will come with us. Tax service, having an above cost of $26,291 plus your seller's credit that they're going to credit to the buyer, giving you total costs. Here's your equity minus the costs. There's no second trust deed, and so the seller's going to net $10,536.95. So making the property available and paying the closing costs is what is going to make this property sell the quickest and the easiest way. Any questions? Don't hesitate to call. You go right from there. You go to print. Remember, print in English, print in Spanish, and you have your seller's net. Everything spelled out for you. Nobody will have any question about it in the end. Net cash $10,536.95.